Welcome to the Love, Sex and Freedom podcast. This is where you're going to discover how to bring awakening into the body and into everyday life through powerful tantric teachings. Get ready to release, open and step into your true power. Welcome everyone. Hello. So for the people who are new here and haven't been in the field of Embodied Awakening Academy, we say welcome very genuinely. It's always good to feel new people coming into the field, and for those of you who have gone into different levels of depths with us, thank you for your continued joining of what we're doing here, which is very reflective of the name, Embodied Awakening. I'm Chantel Raven. I'm the founder of the Practitioner Training and our Academy. And I'll start by sharing a little bit about, why Embodied Awakening and what is this field of energy that is holding the practitioner training. So pre-Tantra and discovering Tantra, my journey was centered very much around awakening and the non-dualist realms of being able to witness this and our emotions and everything within and without as a neutral observer, and not resisting anything that is arising, being able to really be with sensation, be with emotion without resistance, surrendering into what is. And that was amazing, and it really supported a sense of oneness within me that could see beyond delusion. However, there was a lot of different energies that would arise in me that, as much as I tried to simply witness, sometimes they would just overtake me and make me do things and say things that were definitely not in alignment with that non-dual neutrality. So I would kind of end up beating up on myself and wondering why there was anxiety and, unfulfillment inside of me. And this became really clear to me as being an issue when I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and knowing that what manifests in a physical sense has an energetic resonance. I knew that there was something that I needed to look at energetically and emotionally. So I put out to the universe, okay, what's the missing piece here? Where I could feel this in-between stage. When you're in an in-between stage where you were comfortable with whatever you were employing as your authority of spirituality, relationship, sexuality, whatever fields of the human experience that really interest you. And you go, okay, something's not quite working here, but I don't know what will work. And I was at a bit of a loss and having an internal crisis. So I just put out to Spirit, please show me where I'm meant to go now. And a few days later, a friend told me about a Tantra practitioner who I ended up meeting and having sessions with, and that really marked the difference between two lives. There's the pre-Tantra life and the post-Tantra life. And once I really devoted myself to the mastery of Tantra, what began to unfold was a whole being in here that I didn't even know existed. And my greatest passion in bringing this work forth is to really support that wave of evolution that I experienced to humankind. Because to me, Tantra is the difference that makes the difference to so many people, because it looks at the 3 areas of life that create the deepest unfulfillment that I've seen in the last decade of working with people and in my own life and friends' lives, which is relationships, sexuality, and spirituality. And, you know, spirituality encompasses a lot, but to me, what spirituality is really about is, can we purge whatever is not our natural essence and remember who we really are? And then relating is such an amazing avenue towards that. Sexuality is such an amazing avenue towards that. And pre-Tantra, I wasn't feeling any depth of understanding at an embodied level of what it means to really relate in a way that invokes ease, joy, and pleasure more than anything else. I didn't know how to feel orgasmic energy all through my body and surrender in lovemaking in a way that it's actually a healing modality and something expansive. It was always enjoyable and would relieve stress for sure, but the depths to which Tantra takes you by including the energetic component and by actually saying that this is the power center for men. Wow, that was crazy when I learned that. And to think that men work with coaches and healers without actually putting their hands on their own cock and feeling the energy there and the power that's there, to think that women are not feeling their orgasmic potential and that actually they can make love and be fully connected to their hearts and feel safe. You know, these areas of the human experience that have been behind closed doors for way too long are the areas that when you're sitting in front of someone or you're really sitting with yourself, have the potential to unlock so much life force energy. And really the point of difference with the body work that is held within tantric practice and the practitioner training is that there is a understanding and a commitment to supporting yourself and others to feel the truth, to actually undo all of the conditioning that has told us that the mind is the authority of our life, and to go, wow, what if we could bring awakening into the body and not resist anything that is within us and allow the conditioning of beliefs that don't serve us to be felt in here with amazing bodywork practices and methods that support beings to actually feel the purge that needs to happen, the release of whatever isn't truth out of our body, and to find that truth. And one of the deliberate intentions of this practitioner training is to really balance releasing trauma, identifying trauma, being with trauma, with expansion. And I find that a lot of people get caught in either identifying too much with trauma, and there was a stage in my life where that was definitely true, or bypassing into awakening, or feeling into what we want and what we want to expand into, but not actually addressing what's in the way of that. So I see this practitioner training as a totality experience where you are going deeper. So this info session The reason I called it the path of mastery is because you are not ready for this unless your soul is being called into a deepening of who you are, who you really are, and into a deepening of supporting others to really feel who they are, the truth of who they are, and to express that. And, you know, what's the difference between knowing the truth of who you are, supporting the truth to come out in others, and the truth that doesn't really feel held in the body? Like, what is truth? Because you can look at some of the leaders and their truth might be to overpower. Their truth might be to overregulate. Their truth might be to just teach through the mind, which is the current education system. And a lot of the conditioning that may have seemed like the truth to you from your parents, from well-meaning teachers, is it really the truth, or is that their mind, their conditioned mind? What's the difference between real truth and mental truth? When you are in truth, it feels fucking good. It feels alive. You feel divine moving through you. And this training takes into account all of my years of studying somatic experiencing and trauma. And it's in there. When I was designing this training, I needed every fucking part of my brain. It was a 4-year process of drawing on a lot of different trainings that I felt called to at different times. And obviously, each of you is feeling called, and you're either already coaches and healers, and you can see that Tantra could be added to your repertoire, or maybe you're wanting to step into that. But in reflecting on my own journey as a practitioner, I felt called to different learnings and to really deepen my mastery into different fields, and trusted that calling and always got something huge out of everyone that I worked with. And so, you know, I'm 45. I haven't stopped studying since I was 18. So when I sat down to write this training, it's like, okay, everything I know about trauma, everything I know about shamanism, everything I know about somatic experience, everything I know about Tantra, everything I know about energetic bodywork, everything I've learned from my fabulous mentors. How can I synthesize all of that into a path of mastery for people that will 100% guaranteed deepen their own evolution, and 100% guaranteed deepen the evolution of the people they sit in front of? And I have never ever trained a practitioner whose life has not completely changed. And I don't ever work with clients whose lives don't completely change. And if this is a career path for you, and when I say career, I don't mean career in the traditional way where, oh, I need to do something to earn money. I mean that it's a hobby that lights you the fuck up and you happen to get paid for it. So if you are the type of person who is excited about self-mastery, if you are the person who is excited about human evolution, then you are a leader and this training is for you. And it requires a commitment to your mastery. Not only are all of the methods within this training and the philosophy behind this training and my enthusiasm and passion that will infuse you over the year, not only will that evolve you, but what's going to evolve you more than anything is saying, I commit to something that is greater than myself. I commit to something that is contributing to evolution in humanity. I'm standing for embodying awakening. And to go back to that, when I went on my journey of embodiment, it was amazing to come out of the cage, to feel everything fully, to actually acknowledge that sexual energy is a pathway to connecting to God and spirit, and a pathway to my liberation and the extrication or the purging of what isn't me. Not only did I feel all of these aspects of Tantra that were really freeing me, I was also feeling the echo of my pre-Tantra days and non-dualism, and came to realize that real Tantra is actually a fusion of both, and that real Tantra is always merging opposites and bringing them together. It's bringing masculine, feminine, dark, light, shadow and consciousness, sexuality and spirituality, trauma and oneness, the part that is right here, right now, that can be beyond that in the deep breath of now. Is looking at trauma important? Absolutely. Is sitting here in this present moment where the past and the present are no longer relevant important? Yes. Is it important to be with and support our clients to experience masculine energy and feminine energy, darkness and light? Yes, all of these dualities. And, you know, these areas of the human experience can be approached in so many different ways. And when I was writing this training, what I've really provided for you is a basic structure that allows for communication and relating to your clients and understanding their conditioning and their relationship with their mother and father and important aspects of their history. It also includes an invocation of not only what's seen, but also what's unseen to support that space. It includes a creating of sacred space. And that space is not something that people step into for you to fix them or for you to tell them what is and isn't truth. It's a space for you to unravel the truth from within them. And it includes energy work and body work and the breath and touch. And whether it's in person and you're touching them or online and they're touching themselves, we are getting energy moving in the body. We are supporting people to feel fully alive, totally present, and no longer needing to control their experience so that they can free themselves into a new space of living. So, you know, these key components of sexuality, relating, shadow work, spirituality, what it's really asking is, how can we tap into a person's conditioning and understand that and the beliefs that are limiting, and then how can we go beyond that into their body so they can feel all of that and trust this wisdom? How can I hold a space for the body to be in its naturalness and do what it needs to do? And then at the end of the session, how can I support a rewiring? So once the nervous system has opened, once there's been a purge, once there's been a felt sense of an aliveness that has never been felt before, which will happen in every session because all of the methods in the training are designed for that. You can't experience or take someone through a womb healing without something deep happening. You can't experience or take someone through really being with and dialoguing with and expressing different aspects of the unconscious without a new aliveness. And what Tantra is really about is loving all of the parts within yourself, supporting your clients to love all of the parts within themselves and saying, guess what? You are whole. And you don't need to deny anything anymore. And actually, when you feel that wholeness, the seeking is nothing more than letting go of the tight fist of resistance within your body that is stopping you from being here and trusting yourself in this aliveness. So I'm calling the warriors of truth and the protectors of truth, the warriors of love and the protectors of love, to this training. Because there is nothing that this planet needs more, especially at this time on the planet. There is nothing that this planet needs more than actual truth and love in a world where there is so much war, in a world where there is so much separation. How can we be ambassadors of truth? How can we be devoted to the evolution within us? Because we know that is what changes everything. That is the point of difference between a coach who is always having an influx of clients, the one who is always evolving, the one who is committed here. And then that commitment and that freedom within you, the more you feel that, then naturally you want other people to experience that level of surrender. Surrendering into our humanity with the awakened state. We are claiming and supporting others to claim our humanity, and that our humanity is beautiful. And this training isn't some other online course that you're going to enroll in and go, okay, this is something else to add to my credentials that I'm going to do with my mind. That's not what this training is designed for. This training is designed for you to go deep. This training is an invitation into a deeper change than what's going to happen through the material in this training. And that deeper change is you actually saying, I'm going to commit beyond my habits, beyond the distraction, beyond my comfort zone, beyond what I'm used to, and I'm going to become devoted to self-mastery and mastery of my craft. And how do I do that? I do that through the commitment of being here fully, of showing up in loving presence to everything in here with powerful methods, and then bringing that to others and ending the inner war. Because why do we have so much war that's expressed in so many different ways on the planet? Because so many people have this inner war within themselves, where they don't feel safe to come home into a deep remembering of who they are, where they don't feel safe to actually receive love, to be in their pleasure, to experience a connection to spirit through these cells. And resisting whatever is deemed as good or bad. And to end this inner war, we need to give people a new education that's not mind-based, that is a coming home to the soul, to the body, that is supporting people to breathe, feel energy, feel themselves, express parts of themselves they've never expressed. And you get to be the humble inviter of every person's truth that sits in front of you, which will be unique. And what power is there? What greater power is there than supporting someone to be fully who they are? So the next question is, when you let go of all of your conditioning, when you're not in the mind, when you come to deciding whether or not to do this training, ask yourself, does my soul feel called into this deepening of mastery? And you don't know exactly what that's going to be, and I don't plan on telling you exactly what that's going to be because it's going to be different for everyone, but I can guarantee it is mastery because that's what I'm all about, and I created it. So when you feel that call, I had this calling once to do a training in Sedona that involved all sorts of crazy shit. I was using my last $10,000 literally to do this training. It was 1 month container, and I didn't know what to do. And then I saw on the number plate of a car that I was driving behind, right when I was in this contemplation, Sedona on the number plate. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I went and did this training and met 2 people that completely changed my life. I didn't even know anything about Sedona. And I met this shaman who was taking me on the red rocks and drumming me into I thought, I was going to learn more about Tantra, which I definitely did, and met some incredible teachers in the field. There was a group of teachers from all around the world. But actually what made the biggest difference was something completely unexpected. And this man, he could just coo-wee and make sound, and animals would come. And then he would start drumming, and I'm, lying on this rock, being taken into depths that I'd never experienced before. And that came into my work and changed it. And everything that I do and everything that I've ever learned changes a part of me and changes a part of my work. And all I need to do is trust where I feel called to. So this is my call, and I sing it to my soul tribe. I sing it to my pack who are interested in a deep mastery that is both for the self and completely beyond the self, and that will undoubtedly contribute to an evolution in humanity that ends the inner war and that has the potential to end the outer war. And if we're not feeling that hope, if we're not holding a torch for that, if we're not saying, yes, we can be ambassadors of that change, we can be leaders of that change, then who the fuck is saying it? This world needs to change. And I invite all of you to be a part of that. Thanks for listening to the Love, Sex and Freedom podcast. For more great free resources, in-person and online workshops, and our retreats, find us on Instagram and Facebook at Embodied Awakening Academy, or visit embodiedawakeningacademy.com.